Folks, breakfast is served. If you'd like something, you can get online now, and we'll get started in just a couple of minutes.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, public,
One nation.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I haven't had all my caffeine yet today.
Please remain standing, and I guess I'll do the invocation. You know, we live in a world today that people are being killed around the globe. We have, I'd say let's pray for those poor souls in all those places, whether it's in Africa or Myanmar or Ukraine or Gaza or places like India that we don't hear about, or Pakistan. It really is a very troubling time, and let's hope that cooler heads prevail and we find peace going forward rather than continuing down this crazy path. Thanks. With that, I just ask for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start going around the room for introductions.
You want to start here?
I'll start with you, Bill.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name's Bill Schneider with PS&S Architecture and Engineering, and we're located down in Larkin Plaza, and we'd be happy to talk to you about your development needs. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren Finnegan, also with PS&S Engineering down at Larkin Plaza, and I do a lot of site design and utility work.
Good morning, everyone. Sean Brown, NYU Lingo.
Good morning, Christian Castillo, and I work with New York Life, helping people with retirement and insurance needs.
Lattice with Simple Motive Brewing. We're located on Lake Avenue. We make all of our own beers, and we also have a really beautiful space for private events.
Good morning, I'm Avery Lewis from Suburban Pest Control, right around the corner of Yonkers. You guys need any pest control needs? We're here for Suburban.
Morning, everyone. Patrick Doherty with Sound Associates.
Good morning, Rich McSpadden, Business Rep, Local 3, IBEW.
Thank you. Let's give this side of the room a hand.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sherry Rose-Nasher. I am the Director of Policy and Programs for small businesses and chambers of commerce for the County Executive. We're having an incredible event tomorrow about opportunities and resources for small business in conjunction with the MTA and the New York Power Authority. The flyers are on the tables. I hope to see you all there.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carl Ranieri. I'm with TC Ranieri Insurance Agency. We are a fourth-generation insurance agency over on Palmer Road. Been in Yonkers since the 80s. Do both personal and commercial lines insurance. Glad to see everyone.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Kelly Chiarella, Director for Yonkers Office for the Aging. I left two flyers on your table. One is for Senior Health and Fitness next Wednesday for Office for the Aging, and then the other is Relay for Life, which is next Friday, May 31st. Wearing my volunteer hat. Please mark your calendars. Come out for a lot of fun. It's going to be food and entertainment and games for the kids, and it's a whole lot of fun. And there's still sponsorship opportunities for that if you're interested.
Good morning, everyone. Michael Sabatino, Director of Constituent Services and Government Affairs for the City of Yonkers.
Good morning, everybody. Anna Piratella, Yonkers Partners in Education. We're hosting a little get-together tonight at Cross County Center, so if anybody wants to join us, we are presenting Judge Karen Beltran with the Legacy Award, so you're all invited to come and celebrate with us. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Cannell from the City of Yonkers Planning and Development, and I'm also a member of the Women in Business. And I'd just like to remind you that we have our cocktail party on June 5th at Zuper's, so make sure you attend. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jean Tickle with Howard Hanna Rand Realty, and I was going to remind you about the cocktail party too. Good morning, Lisa Shear with New
give this side a round of applause also. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Maura. We're up here, we should all be getting out into golf carts and getting out there to play. It looks like it's gonna be a great day. This is my kind of weather. High 70s, not humid, and cool enough at night so you can keep the windows open. But it doesn't last long, as we unfortunately are aware. You know, for years, I'm a lifelong Yonkers resident. My kids were born at the former Lawrence Hospital, but we always had a thought that if you had to find a hospital for something that was challenging, just point me south. Montefiore, Columbia Presbyterian, Mount Sinai, NYU Langone, I mean, somewhere in the city. And it really is, it's a business that's changing right now. The city is moving up to Westchester. And right now, you know, Lawrence is now Columbia Presbyterian of Westchester. They share doctors with New York. You get the same care. The doctors probably like it because a lot of them live in Westchester and they'd rather just stay here rather than having to go down across the bridge. So it really is a great thing, and we have that in multiple areas in Westchester. And I got to tell you, it really adds to the value of where we are. It makes us really an area that people want to be. We have great health care now. It's not good, and we can get great health care in New York. Now you can get great health care really right down the road. And it's great for we in Yonkers, and it's great for us in Westchester. And to hear about that, we're going to hear first from Mr. Tim Hughes, who's with Columbia Presbyterian. And I'm sure he's got a lot to tell us this morning.
Kevin, thank you. Thank you for that warm welcome. Kevin's preempted me. I can sit back down and hand it over to the keynote speaker, so thank you. Well, NYP Westchester, formerly Lawrence Hospital, is the proud sponsor of today's breakfast business meeting. And we're grateful to partner with the Yonkers Chamber and all of you in your initiatives. Our Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Paul Dunphy, who normally attends this event, sends his regrets and his warm regards. Unfortunately, he had another obligation that he needed to be at today. But Paul Dunphy's role is expanding and is aligning with the vision for healthcare in Westchester County that Kevin just outlined. In June, Paul will become, in addition to holding the executive role at NewYork-Presbyterian Westchester, he'll be the new president at NewYork-Presbyterian Hudson Valley up in Cortland Manor, Peekskill area, where Paul will be responsible for oversight and leadership of all operations, quality, and patient care. Paul will also serve and oversee the soon-to-open Ambulatory Care Center at 1111 Westchester Avenue in White Plains, located at the former PepsiCo headquarters. Many of you may know that it's at the intersection of 287 and the top of the Hutchinson River Parkway. This 225,000 square foot facility will include a multi-specialty faculty practice with our partners, Columbia Doctors. The new facility will have 10 operating rooms and endoscopy suites. There will be centers of excellence in cardiovascular services, neurology, men's health, women's health, and children's health, all under a single roof. It will include a full-service imaging and interventional radiology suite, and it'll have available MRIs, CAT scans, PET-CT, X-ray, ultrasound, all women's health imaging, including mammography. So a full suite of diagnostic imaging. We'll also provide rehabilitation services for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. We will include in the center an infusion center with the support of an on-site laboratory and full pharmacy. The new ASC is slated to open in the third quarter of next year in 2025. And we are really excited about the expanding health services in Westchester County and throughout the region to deliver even more convenient and accessible care and bringing Columbia doctors and their world-class quality right here in Westchester County. We're also committed, there's a lot happening at the local campus at NYP Westchester. In late June, we'll begin a gut renovation of our lobby and front entrance. This will not only modernize and update the lobby, but more importantly, it will leverage technology. We'll have patient kiosks to facilitate an efficient registration and check-in process to get patients on to their appointments. We just completed a renovation and opened up our new interventional radiology recovery room. This opened last month and has really not only improved the safety for patients, but is aesthetically and creates a warm patient experience. And we're really excited about our new state-of-the-art labor and delivery unit. Construction on that new unit is expected to be completed by the end of July. This new unit, we anticipate opening in the third quarter of this year after the Department of Health reviews and grants approval. And then we're also expanding, looking at redesigning our emergency room and an expansion, which will include a pediatric section. But more importantly than the bricks and mortar, this August, I am really excited to announce that we will have Columbia doctors trained pediatric emergency medicine physicians in our emergency room every day. So that will really elevate the care of pediatric care here at NewYork-Presbyterian Westchester. And we remain committed to the Yonkers community. Just as an example, on May 23rd this week, we're going to participate in the autism program over at Roosevelt High School. And we are honored to participate at the Hudson River Museum Gala on June 15th for our support of the junior docent program. And we continue to be a strong supporter and collaborator of the Yonkers Partners in Education. Sam Wallace, their executive director, is on our hospital's community advisory board, along with Phoenix Arias from the Yonkers Public Schools and Kelly Chiarella, the directors of the Yonkers Office of Aging. Their valuable input helps us to make informed decisions, and we are grateful for their partnership. As another indicator of the investment in our communities, this month our Community Affairs team is launching a second round of the NYP Community Fund. This fund provides funding to community-based organizations to address social determinants of health. Last year, NYP provided $3 million of grant monies, and this year we plan to provide grants ranging from $75,000 to $150,000 annually that will be extendable for one other year. In our area, special consideration will be given to organizations that provide services in the city of Yonkers, in White Plains, Mount Vernon, Peekskill, and Ossining. And we are proud to support these grassroots organizations that provide such critical support to our communities. To learn more about these community grants, please don't hesitate to contact Ellen or Elisa. They can share any information that you're interested in. And with that, it is now my pleasure to introduce NewYork-Presbyterian Westchester's Chief of Urology, Dr. Michael Feuerstein. Dr. Feuerstein is Chief of Urology at NewYork-Presbyterian Westchester and an assistant attending at Columbia University. He is board-certified urologist with expertise in urologic oncology. including prostate cancer early detection. His research focusing on quality of life and quality of care in prostate cancer has been published extensively and presented at numerous national conferences. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Michael Feuerstein.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone, for the invitation here. This is really quite an honor. Let me just tell you a little bit about who I am, my background. I'm born and raised in Scarsdale. My father was actually a Yonkers earth science teacher for about 30 years. And I been a patron here probably a dozen times. And so it's really cool to be back here. So I'm a urologic oncologist. I specialize in prostate cancer, in bladder cancer, and kidney cancer. And for the last about 10 years, I've actually been practicing in New York City at Lenox Hill Hospital. And to Kevin's point, I really resented the fact that people were coming in to see me from Westchester, and I resented the fact that my family and friends from Westchester were all calling me, asking me, who's the best person in New York City to see for this or that. And so I really made it, my goal and my, sort of my mantra has been to bring that level of care to Westchester, to bring those services that were in New York City to Westchester. And so I've been here at NewYork-Presbyterian for about 3 months, and I can tell you that we already have a lot of the services, or better, that we had in New York City, and that you would get the same care or better care here in Bronxville that you would get in Manhattan. So I'm really pleased with that, and I think we've continued to grow. Tim mentioned, the growth of the hospital, the new building that's going to offer men's health services, ambulatory surgical services at 1111 Westchester Avenue. So we're really excited about that. Let me just, I was asked to briefly talk about some of the advances and things that are going on in prostate cancer. Even if you don't have a prostate, you might know someone who has a prostate. And I think a lot of the advances in biomarker testing and imaging and radiation oncology and surgery, actually in systemic therapies, there's a lot of analogies between prostate cancer and breast cancer. And it's just a really, exciting, exhilarating time to work in oncology now. We were talking earlier that, when I was a resident 12, 13 years ago in prostate cancer, there was only about 2 systemic treatments, 2 sort of treatments that if you had metastatic prostate cancer, you would get these treatments and you might live a year if you were lucky. And nowadays, there's at least a dozen treatments that are available, and people are living just much longer and with better quality of life. And it's really remarkable to see what's happened in less than a generation. And so, some of the services that we offer in Westchester include biomarker testing. So you may be familiar with PSA testing. That's a blood test for screening for prostate cancer. And we often recommend that in men over the age of 50, and some men who have family history of prostate cancer in men who are in their 40s. There's additional testing that we can offer, other blood tests and urine-based tests to help detect prostate cancer, help to avoid unnecessary biopsies. And in addition, imaging is a critical piece of this. Nowadays, MRI imaging of the prostate is standard of care in men who we may suspect have prostate cancer. And we're lucky to be able to offer MRI imaging in several locations in Westchester as well as in Manhattan. And our biopsy technique has really become advanced, whereas just a few years ago, a prostate biopsy was sort of just a blinded kind of target, hope you hit something kind of thing. Now in addition to MRIs, we have a safer and more accurate way to detect prostate cancer, where we're avoiding unnecessary biopsies, avoiding a lot of unnecessary infections, and detecting more clinically significant prostate cancers. In surgery, nowadays, pretty much all prostate surgery is performed robotically. Many patients go home the same day or the next day with pretty quick recoveries. I've had patients doing work from home the next day, back at the gym and things like that in a few weeks. Robotic surgery has really advanced the recovery and also helped preserve a lot of the quality of life issues that go along with prostate cancer treatments. In addition, we have at Westchester and Bronxville the latest in radiation oncology systems, and we've really built a comprehensive prostate cancer program, something that honestly I didn't have. I don't want to disparage Lenox Hill Hospital, it's a great hospital, but we did not have that kind of comprehensive prostate cancer team there, and we already have that in Bronxville. We have experts in radiation oncology and medical oncology and prostate cancer treatments. We have experts in nursing, in genetic counseling, interventional radiology, and so we really have kind of the whole gamut of services. And so we're really excited about some of our community outreach things. We're offering some, we have prostate cancer screening events. We're putting on an event at a Mets game next month. And I'm really interested, one of my goals here has really been to come out to the community and not just educate about prostate cancer, but offer prostate cancer screening events, survivorship events. We've held some survivorship events in Yonkers. And so I'm thrilled to be here and talk about the types of services we offer. And I'm available, offline if anybody wants to speak. I'm always taking phone calls about families and friends and things like that. And so thank you again for the invitation.
Any questions out there? I know it's not exactly the subject that people necessarily want to talk about, but I have a question. On the radio, I forget his name, but the cyber knife, the 1384 Broadway, it's on the radio 15 times a day. Could you just talk about that a little bit?
So, yeah, you hear about that all the time. Just to, cyber knife is a type of radiation oncology. It's radiation treatment. It's actually not even the latest, greatest. We have a more advanced machine in Bronxville. But the traditional radiation treatment for prostate cancer used to be like 9 or 10 weeks. We'd go 5 days a week. And the newer radiation, similar to CyberKnife, is now basically 5 treatments over 2 weeks. And it's essentially the same dose of radiation, but they're able to shrink it down and target the prostate better. There's other sort of procedures that can be done to alleviate a lot of the side effects that came along with radiation. But I'll just say this, I don't want to disparage anybody. Don't believe everything you hear on the radio. I would say that that's not the latest treatment that we have. We have better treatments, in fact, in Bronxville.
That was the latest 5 or 10 years ago. Thanks, Hal. Thanks.
Yes, I have a question.
Question?
Yeah.
Christian.
So, couple questions. Is there something that you can do at a young age to, lower the chances of, getting this? And also, is there any sort of like early detection? Is there something like that we may feel so that we may catch it earlier? That we may be able to like get help earlier?
Yeah, both excellent questions. I would say that there's nothing really. There's no screening or anything that can be done in your before you're age 40, but by the time you're 40, it's not a bad idea to get a PSA test, a blood test for prostate cancer screening. Prostate cancer in your 40s is very rare, but it can help tell us something about your lifetime risk of prostate cancer. So depending on where your PSA level is in your 40s, we can determine if you need to be checked every year or every other year, or if you can wait till be 50 to get your next check. If you have a strong family history of not just prostate cancer, but breast cancer, ovarian cancer, pancreatic cancer, those can run together in families, and you're in your 40s, it's a good idea to start screening that. In terms of like diet or anything like that, there's nothing's been really proven to lower your risk of prostate cancer. We know that men who have prostate cancer have been treated, you know, a healthy lifestyle, diet and exercise, kind of a heart-healthy diet. Whatever's good for your heart is good for your prostate, probably. You know, that's like a low-salt diet, lower, you know, sort of moderate red meat diet, you know, low red meat diet is probably better, but there's nothing that you can really do. In terms of symptoms, you know, there's certain symptoms as you get older. The prostate enlarges, you may develop urinary symptoms. That's really separate from prostate cancer. There's really, in general, no signs or symptoms of prostate cancer until it's very, very advanced. And really screening is the best detection.
Any other questions? Yes.
Well, I mean, in terms of, oh, okay, yeah. Well, there's, you know, African Americans tend to have earlier prostate cancer, more advanced prostate cancer, and it probably has to, it's probably not genetic. You know, it probably has a lot to do with social determinants of health. You know, less access to doctors, less insurance, and so that's a big part of why we're here, why we do these kind of community outreach events, is to educate people, make sure that they have access to all these things. And so it's very important. So actually, so screening in African American men is recommended in their 40s to help promote screening and early detection. Well, I mean, I should have mentioned this. I mean, actually the exam, the dreaded prostate exam, is really kind of gone away for the most part. It's not really part of routine screening. It's really just a blood test. And I think if you can explain or educate men more that really this is just a blood test, and you know, I think that they'll be much less reluctant to do it. And it's amazing how many patients I've had who get diagnosed with prostate cancer, who go back and talk to their friends and family, and they didn't realize that all of their friends, all of these family members had prostate cancer, just never spoke about it. And so, you know, we had this event about a month ago in Yonkers, and it was and all these men who knew each other, went to the same church. They had no idea that the other men had prostate cancer. But I think the important point is, you know, the exam's kind of gone away. We now have much better blood tests, much better imaging that have kind of supplanted the exam as part of the screening thing, and that the blood test is sufficient, and that so men can ask for just a blood test with their annual checkup, and I think they're much more likely to get screened.
Anybody else? And just to follow what Dr. Feuerstein said, I don't know, I mean, you get to my age, you go to the doctor, I have to go twice a year, and the cardiologist runs 150 tests on the blood that I let a week before I go for the appointment, and he runs the PSA. I mean, why not? I'm doing it anyway, and it's just another test along with the other umpteen tests that they do. And we're very fortunate, and I'm no expert, but I know plenty of my friends and family who have had prostate cancer, and thank God everyone came out with it, and they're all healthy now. But you know, a lot of people get it, and if they find it early, it's really not a big deal. You know, it's not 20 years ago where you had to worry about it, and the hated test, that kind of went the way of the doesn't tell them what the PSA tells them. The PSA tells them if there's a problem, and if there's a problem, then you can go in to see a doctor and an MRI or whatever, a CAT scan, whatever level they think you need. And it really, you don't have to worry about the rubber glove anymore. So, I don't know how else to put it. We've all been here. Okay, so I thought it was a great program. I was really, when I thought Alyssa had said, or Gina had told me, I thought it was a virology presentation. And I said, boy, virology, that's going to be a great subject with COVID and the bird flu and all the different things that we worry about. And then Gina told me yesterday, urology. I said, oh my God. But the doctor was very good, very informative, and we had a lot of questions, so I guess it worked well. Okay, presentation of, do we have anybody who will take a picture? Okay. All right, we'll do first I'll do the presentation of the night before. Do we have somebody to take a picture? Well, we're very pleased and we're very thankful that New-York-Presbyterian sponsored our breakfast, and this is their second, I believe, Golden Night Before sponsorship award. Alyssa, do you want to come up? Okay, now we can get to the Virginia Highlander, the 50/50. And we got $85. Okay, yellow ticket 0309821. Donated. Evan Walker from Draft Bite donated it back, and we'll have to hear that. Okay, I guess that's it. Our next, just a reminder, June 6th is the Women in Business Cocktail. It's at Zupa, and I believe 6/18 is our next breakfast. Stay tuned for who we'll have as a speaker. And we thank you for coming today. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy the great weather, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks.